On May 21st, during the joint press conference of South Korea and the United States, the termination of Korea-U.S. missile guidelines was announced. The guideline restricted the range and payload of missiles and warheads of the South Korean military. With the announcement of the termination by the two presidents, Korea finally reacquired the missile sovereignty after 42 years. The South Korea-United States missile guidelines were agreed based on the missile technology transfer from the U.S. in 1979. The purpose of the guideline was for the U.S. to inhibit armament competition within East Asia. During the time, Park Chung-hee government tried to develop ballistic missiles on its own. The U.S. government did not agree and introduced the guidelines to cap the solid fuel missiles to a range of 180 kilometers and a payload to 500 kilograms. Afterward, the first revision that increased the range of missiles to 300 kilometers was introduced in 2001. The restrictions on the range and payload were lifted for private space rockets using liquid fuel. During the second revision in 2012, the maximum range was extended. South Korean government suggested 1,000 kilometers, considering the repeated testing of long-range missiles and nuclear experiments by North Korea. Through negotiation, the U.S. and South Korea agreed on 800 kilometers, a distance enough to reach all of North Korea, but not enough to reach Japan and China. In November 2017, President Moon Jae-in and U.S. counterpart Donald Trump introduced a third revision in the guidelines that removed the limit on the payload of South Korean missiles. In July 2020, the fourth revision was made to lift restrictions on solid fuels for the South Korean space rocket launch. Liquid fuels release fewer emissions during the rocket launch compared to solid fuels. It was very meaningful because the removal of the restriction on the use of solid fuels was necessary for the development of space rockets. On May 21, 2021, the South Korea-U.S. missile guidelines completely terminated. Now, the range for the missiles is extended to cover the whole of Northeast Asia. Moreover, the termination of missile guidelines will strengthen the defense capability and affect private aerospace development positively. It will have a positive influence on both the aerospace and defense industries.